Today we're going to continue with Glencoe Filing Made Easy. Last time we learned filing terminology and 5 filing rules. Today we're going to learn 5 additional filing rules because there are 20 rules applied to filing. We're going to begin with filing rule number 6, unusual and foreign names. When it's hard to determine which part of an unusual or foreign name is the surname or the last name, we assume that the last written part is the surname or the last name. So we have 5 unusual foreign names, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce them. The first name is Trey New Than. Than is going to be considered the last name. Hetty Kisak. Kisak is going to be considered the last name. Thatcher W. Thorne. Ho Kwan Kwan. Kipperson Kelly. So these names as filed will look like this. Kelly will be the first name filed. The first last name filed because we file in alphabetical order comparing letter to letter in each filing unit. So we compare K in Kelly to K in Kisak, E to E, and L to S. So L comes before S, so Kelly will be filed before Kisak. Then we will compare Kisak to Kwan, K to K, E to W. Since E comes before W, Kisak will come before Kwan. Then we compare Thon or Than to Thorn, T to T, H to H, and A to O. And because A comes before O, Than will be filed first. So this is filing rule number 6, unusual and foreign names. Rule number 7, seniority designations. When identical names have seniority designations such as third, the second, junior, and senior, the seniority designations become the last indexing unit and is used to determine the correct alphabetical order. So all these names have seniority designations. J.T. Black Sr., Henry O. Blackman III, Henry O. Blackman IV, J.T. Black Jr., and Henry O. Blackman II. So as filed, these names will be Black J.T. Jr. filed first, Black J.T. Sr. filed second because the J in Junior comes before the S in Senior in the seniority designations. Then we consider the 3 Blackmans. Now the rule says nothing comes before something, therefore Black was filed before Blackman. And we use the seniority designation, which are numbers, to compare and determine which names are filed first. So in Blackman the fourth, 4 comes before the Roman numeral 2 because the numeric number 4 comes before a Roman numeral. And then we have Blackman the second and Blackman the third. This is the rule for seniority designation in determining the correct alphabetical order. Rule number 8, titles and degrees. Professional titles such as doctor, mayor, senator. Personal titles such as Mr., Mrs., Ms. Military rank such as major, general, private, and academic degrees such as PhD, MA, MD are not considered in filing except to distinguish between two or more identical names. They are considered the last indexing unit after all other units, including seniority titles. Let's look at it. As written, we have Mayor May Brax, Brad Brax, MD, Mrs. May Brax, Dr. Brad Brax, and General Brad Mallow. As filed, these names will look like this. Brad Brax Doctor comes before Brad Brax Brad MD because the D in doctor comes before the M in MD. Then we will consider Brax May Mayor to Brax May Mrs. The last and first name are the same. So we will compare letter to letter, M in Mayor and M in Mrs. They are the same. Then A in Mayor to R in Mrs. And A comes before R. Therefore, Mayor comes before Brax May Mrs. And the last name to be filed is Marlowe Brax General. Filing rule number 9. Religious and royal titles and pseudonyms. Personal names that begin with the religious or royal titles, such as father or queen, followed by only a first name, are indexed and alphabetized as written. A pseudonym, which is a made-up name, such as Little Richard, is also indexed and alphabetized as written. So we look at the 5 names as written. We have Father Lawrence, which is a religious title. Princess Lillian, which is a royal title. Mr. Clean and Professor Lookalike are both pseudonames, meaning fake names. Then we have Larry Foth, which is a regular name. It's not a pseudonym and it's not a royal title. So we will file it last name first. So as filed, we will have Foth and Father. Comparing letter to letter, F to F, A to A, T to T, H to H, E to E, and there's nothing after the E in Foth. Therefore, the rule, nothing before something, applies here. So, Foth will come before Father Lawrence. Then we will have Mr. Clean, a pseudonym, a made-up name, written just as it is. Princess Lillian, a royal title, written just as it is. And Professor Lookalike, lastly, a pseudonym, written just as it is. So this is the rule for religious, royal titles, and pseudonyms. Rule number 10, identical names. When 2 or more names are identical, the addresses are used to determine the correct filing order. The parts of the address are compared in the following order. We compare the town or the city first, then the state or the province next, then the street name, and lastly, the house or building number in ascending numeric order. Let's look at it. We have three identical names: Patrice Sanchez, 116 Center Street, Jackson, Georgia. Patrice Sanchez, 116 Center Street, Jackson, Ohio. Patrice Sanchez, 116 Center Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. So since the names are the same, first and last names are identical, we will compare the city names. So as filed, Sanchez Patrice, Cincinnati, Ohio, will come before Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Georgia. Then we look at Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Ohio will come last because when we compare the state, which is the second uh, filing order that we consider, to state, G in Georgia comes before O in Ohio. So this is the rule for filing identical names. So we have learned 5 more filing rules. So I encourage you to review your rules and become familiar with them because you will be using them. So next time, we will cover 5 more filing rules. So until then, see you next time.